On Thursday, February 2nd, 2012, James J. Smiley Sr. of Chippewa Lake was scheduled to be sentenced for burglary, a third-degree felony, theft, and safecracking, both fourth-degree felonies. Prior to his hearing, Mr. Smiley filed a motion seeking to withdraw his plea. At the hearing, he was represented by attorney Ed Bowers of Medina. Here is Judge Kimbler ruling on that motion.
This is. Have you seen the motion that Mr. Smiley filed to withdraw his plea?
No.
It is a fascinating memorandum.
When was it filed, Your Honor?
It hasn't been filed.
It hasn't been filed. So that's what he says in the memorandum. I wish to withdraw my plea of guilty, enter a plea of not guilty. If I was told by Mr. Bowers that no PSI would be done, if I pled guilty, then a 1-year sentence would be imposed. Also that it would run concurrent with Lorain County's time. He has since told me that 1-year sentence would be considered only and that it is not guaranteed. I only pled guilty to these charges assuming it would all run together with Lorain's. I'm actually not guilty, but figured since I had 1 year from Lorain County, that's what the difference. All right.
Your Honor.
Wait, I'm not done yet. If that's not the deal, then I'd rather go to trial. Once information will come out of trial, then I'm sure the victim would not like to be made public, so I'm trying to avoid all this. If we can come to an agreement, that is fine, but if not, I will withdraw my plea and win a trial, I am sure. My son, who admits this crime, received 1 year and made his deal behind closed doors, so I don't see why we can't. Thank you. I also want to add that even if I lose a trial, this way I can at least appeal to another court where a guilty plea alone I cannot. That's a good point. Again, thank you. State of Ohio, anything wants to say to that rather interesting statement of reality?
We'd ask the court to either deny it or have a hearing on it. We think it's, frankly, the first part of it is an abject lie because he was in the jury room when he made his plea at the time when the court said you can consider a 1-year sentence and consider concurrent sentences, but you would not agree to it, just as Mr. Bowers apparently advised him. That would be on the record. Without going into further detail, we have some belief that this is a tactic by Mr. Smiley to enter his plea and later withdraw it. I think it's pretty distasteful that he has chosen, and I'm glad you read it, Your Honor, that he's chosen to apparently, I would say it's sort of a blackmailing attempt to sort of intimidate the victims. And Your Honor, what you're going to find is that this career criminal who raised a son who apparently now is a criminal as well, these victims that had their house burglarized, his criminal son, who he raised, came into the life of these victims' daughter, and that's how their house was burglarized. If he intends to embarrass them in some way, I guess that's his prerogative, but I'm going to use the rules of evidence at any subsequent trial or hearing here in court to protect them. I think this is just an attempt for him to avoid another prison sentence in his life of crime, which is detailed in the PSI.
So if I transfer this case over to Judge Collier, he would go with the case, or would you go with the case?
If you transfer it for the purpose of reviewing the...
Well, yeah, I guess...
Yes, Your Honor.
I guess I'm thinking that maybe Judge Collier should look at the change of plea and make sure that it was done appropriately. That way we have somebody who doesn't have any contact with this case looking at it. So I'm the administrative court judge, I'm the administrative judge in the Court of Common Pleas, Joint Division for the year 2012. I will assign this case to Judge Collier for the purpose of considering the motion to withdraw the plea. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for watching this online edition of Medina County Court News.